My selfish sister and her fiancé made fun of me behind my back after I covered their expenses, so I decided to distance myself from them. What I shared during the family meeting left. Everyone's stunned. I'm a 27-year-old guy, a software engineer at a mid-tier tech firm in Austin. Not rolling in millions, believe me, but I'm doing all right. Growing up, I was the classic middle kid, nerdy, aced my classes, built PCs for kicks, and was always the last pick in PE. My older sister, Emily, 29, was the golden child, excelling at everything. Sports, popularity, homecoming crown, you name it. Our younger brother, Josh, 24, somehow managed to coast under the radar. Lucky guy. So here's the deal. It's January 2023, and I'm finally hitting my groove professionally after slogging through a 6-month coding boot camp in 2019 while juggling a soul-crushing help desk job. Brutal combo, not recommended. I'd climbed from junior dev to landing a senior role, pulling in about $120,000 a year. Wild for someone who was earning $15 an hour at Best Buy just a few years back. Money's key to this story, so bear with me. Growing up, I saw my parents stress over bills, so I'm cautious with cash. My place is a modest one-bedroom in a decent neighborhood, and I drive a used 2018 Honda Civic named Ada, after Ada Lovelace. Yeah, I'm that kind of geek. Most of my money goes into index funds and my 401k thanks to finance forums online. Emily, though, total opposite. She's like those high school stars who peaked at 18 and never quite adjusted to adult life. She works as a personal trainer at one of those upscale gyms with fancy towels and wellness zones, earning maybe $45,000 a year, tops. Her fiancé, Ryan, is a self-proclaimed real estate hotshot, always hyping up deals that are about to close. Their Instagram is like a curated lifestyle ad. Pricey dinners, coordinated athleisure outfits, weekend getaways to chic rentals. They live in a $4,000 a month trendy house in Austin's cool district, but their income, it doesn't add up. Then came the late-night call. It's 11:30 p.m., mid-Overwatch match. Yep, I still game, no shame. And Emily's on the line, sobbing. They're 3 months behind on utilities, maxed out multiple credit cards, and their rent's about to bounce. Ryan's big deals tanked, and his broker's threatening to yank his license. I'm a softie. Maybe it's guilt from when she defended me from middle school bullies or her rare I need you plea. But I offered to help, just until Ryan's next deal. She said 2 or 3 months max. They needed $2,000 for rent and bills. I had it in savings, and family's family, right? I sent the cash that night, even made her a budgeting spreadsheet she never touched, and suggested cost-cutting tips she ignored. Big mistake. I let it become routine. Every month, Emily sent Venmo requests, sometimes with a cute emoji, sometimes a best brother ever note. Once, she even sent a pic of their dog holding a thanks uncle, my name sign, which was adorable, but in hindsight, pure manipulation. I kept thinking it was temporary, that Ryan would close a deal. He didn't. That Emily would budget. She wouldn't. Instead, I watched my money fuel their influencer lifestyle via social media. While I was eating budget chicken and rice, they were posting $200 steak dinners. While I delayed upgrading my PC, Emily flaunted a $600 hairstyling tool. I even defended them when friends called it out, saying, "They're just bad with money, they need help." Man, was I clueless. As time went on, Emily got bolder. Venmo requests came without explanation, just dollar amounts and random emojis like praying hands or sparkles. Once, she marked one urgent for a weekend getaway. Meanwhile, I was making real sacrifices. I've been saving for a house down payment, but that became the Emily and Ryan Rescue Fund. I cut my 401k contributions from 15% to 6% to keep my savings afloat. My PC is still rocking a GTX 1080, and I switched to generic coffee, a true developer tragedy. Their Instagram, though, pure luxury, catered parties, designer clothes, spa days. Here's what my $2,000 monthly contributions funded. October 2023, Emily posts about a fancy rooftop steakhouse date, $175 per person with a wine pairing. 3 days later, they couldn't pay their gas bill. November 2023, Ryan suddenly got a new professional wardrobe, logo polos galore, while begging for water bill money. December 2023, they host an over-the-top holiday bash with hired caterers and a pro photographer. I'm eating instant noodles because I just covered their rent. January 2024, Emily's back on her fitness journey with new gear, a pricey rowing machine, and gourmet meal kits. But budget? Nah, I rationalized it all. They're just bad with money, I'd tell myself. They'll pay me back when Ryan's career takes off. My buddy Mark, a fintech guy, finally laid it out. In 18 months, I'd given them $36,000, enough for a car or a house deposit in parts of Texas. I made a spreadsheet, classic nerd move, tracking their public spending. In those 18 months, they dropped at least $4,800 on gym memberships, both had premium ones, $3,000 plus on Emily's self-care treatments, $2,400 on Ryan's golf fees, $5,000 plus on dining out, $3,500 on Emily's makeup obsession, and $2,900 on Ryan's work outfits. That's just what they posted. Real numbers were likely higher. Whenever I brought up budgeting, they'd snap. Emily would say, "We need to keep up appearances for Ryan's career," or "Not everyone wants to live like a broke coder." They built their lifestyle around my $2,000 monthly handouts, expecting their tech bro brother to bankroll it forever. The wake-up call hit at my mom's 50th birthday party. We'd rented a cozy venue in South Congress. Nice, but not fancy enough for Emily, who griped it wasn't photo-worthy. I'd spent the morning setting up, handling catering, and prepping a family photo slideshow. Emily and Ryan arrived late in his leased BMW, her in a designer dress, tag still on, to return later, him in flashy loafers. I was sipping a beer, dodging Ryan's crypto pitch, when Aunt Laura, the family's no-nonsense truth-teller, pulled me aside in the kitchen. "Kid," she whispered, "we need to talk about Emily and Ryan." I braced for a lecture about enabling them, but she dropped a bomb. At a cousin's baby shower, they'd gotten tipsy and mocked me, calling me the tech dork with no life, saying I was so pathetic I had to buy their friendship with my money. Emily laughed that I wasted my cash on them instead of getting a life, and Ryan bragged they had me on a leash with Emily's poor sister act. My stomach churned. I could hear Emily's laugh from the party, probably posting another story. Laura added they'd mocked my efforts to make Mom's party special, all while posing in front of decor I'd paid for. "Right then," Emily burst in, babbling about Ryan needing help with a crypto app. She froze when she saw my face. "You okay?" she asked, fake concern dripping. "Yeah," I said, voice steady, but inside I was done. As she flounced back to the party, posting another perfect family night story, I knew the quiet tech guy was done being their ATM. Post-party, I went full coder mode. I spent Sunday building a master plan, weaponizing my spreadsheet. I cataloged 18 months of payments, Venmo records, and bank transfers, cross-referencing them with their social media. They tagged everything, restaurants, stores, trips, complete with hashtags like number living our best life. I matched their emergency requests to posts about luxury purchases. That $500 steak dinner, posted days after a utility crisis. Ryan's designer shoes, bought hours after a rent help plea. I even screen recorded their Instagram stories. Every brunch, every treat yourself caption, every receipt they flaunted. I wrote a script to track their posting patterns. They'd request money Thursdays or Fridays, then flood Instagram with weekend splurges. Clockwork. Monday, Emily sent her usual $2,000 Venmo request labeled rent. I ignored it. Tuesday, another, "Hey, see my Venmo? Urgent." Left on read. Wednesday, she called, leaving voicemails that went from worried to frantic. By Thursday, she texted, "Are you mad? Ryan says we can get a rent extension, but we need you." I responded with a single screenshot. Their Sunday brunch post, $450, time-stamped hours after Mom's party. No caption, just the receipt. Emily called instantly. "What's with the screenshot? Are you creeping on my Instagram?" She snapped. "Just noticed you had a pricey brunch right after asking for rent money," I said casually. "Must have been tasty." Silence. "That was different," she stammered. "Ryan was meeting clients." Like the designer shoes were for clients, or the spa weekend was networking? Another pause. "Who's been talking?" she demanded. "Does it matter? I'm tight on cash, might need to pause the payments." She scoffed. "You? Tight? You make bank coding." There it was, the entitlement Laura warned me about. "I make $120,000, and I've given you $24,000 a year. Do the math." She hung up. Ryan texted a novel about me, destroying the family. Emily sent a cropped utility bill photo playing victim. Even Mom texted saying Emily was upset. But I stayed silent, watching their panic unfold. Emily went nuclear, calling Mom sobbing, painting me as the villain abandoning her to homelessness. Mom called me at work, a rarity. "William, Emily says you're refusing to help. They might lose their home." I explained I'd given them $36,000, told her to check Emily's Instagram. Mom scrolled in silence, seeing the brunches, the shopping, the trips. "Oh," she whispered. Emily kept spinning tales, telling relatives I was gambling, having a breakdown, or in a tech cult. Josh just sent popcorn emojis, hyped for the drama. Then Ryan showed up at my office, a typical Austin tech spot with ping-pong tables and kombucha on tap. The receptionist slacked me. "Guy says he's family, insists on seeing you." I found Ryan in the lobby, pacing in his realtor getup, fake Rolex glinting. "This has gone too far," he said. "Emma's a wreck, rent's due, power's getting cut." I showed him Emily's latest post, a gym selfie with new workout gear, captioned "Number Self-Love Day." His face flushed. "That's not what it looks like. She's building her brand." "Right, like your $400 bar tab was networking," I said, pulling up another post. "You tag everything, Ryan. It's not stalking, it's public." He switched to threats. "You don't want me as an enemy, I know people." I laughed. "People? Ryan, I checked your license records. 0 sales in 8 months. The only people you know are baristas." Security was eyeing us. He backpedaled. Think about what you're doing to Emily, to family. I have, I said. $36,000 worth. I'm done. I walked away, hearing him yell, "This isn't over!" But it was. Mom called a family meeting at their house, the kind where the troublemaker is supposed to grovel. I came ready, laptop and HDMI cable in tow, with a presentation deck of receipts. Mom was nervous as I hooked up to their TV. Dad was glued to his phone, probably on solitaire. Josh grabbed a prime seat, whispering, "This'll be epic." Emily and Ryan arrived late, her with perfect crying makeup, him in his business polo. They froze, seeing my setup. "What's this?" Emily snapped. "Just a visual aid," I said, opening my deck. "Since we're discussing money, let's get clear." The TV showed a timeline of my $36,000 in payments, synced with their Instagram posts. "Here's you at that upscale steakhouse," I said, pointing to a photo. "Posted 3 days after you couldn't pay your water bill. Nice wine choice." Ryan sputtered. "That was business." I clicked to their receipt, captioned hashtag date night vibes. "Odd way to label a work meeting?" Emily tried. "You're twisting things. Those posts don't show everything." Next slide. My color-coded spreadsheet. "You're right. So I tracked every payment, every excuse, and what you really bought." I highlighted their emergency claims, followed by luxury posts. Ryan stood, fuming. "You're obsessed, digging through our social media like a creep." "Creep?" I countered, clicking to their geotagged posts. "You broadcast every meal, every store, every receipt with darn blessed life tags." Josh was grinning. Mom was stunned. Dad put down his phone. I dropped the bomb. "You mocked me behind my back, calling me a tech loser who buys your friendship, saying I waste money on you." Emily went red. "Aunt Laura told you," she hissed. "Yeah, because she cares about family, not just their wallet." Ryan tried again. "We were stressed, okay? Just jokes." I clicked to their latest purchases. Emily's $900 hair tool, Ryan's designer shoes, their gym memberships. Mom whispered, "Emily, is this true?" Emily sobbed. "We had to keep up appearances for Ryan's career." I finished, "Which hasn't had a sale in 8 months. Want the records?" Ryan knocked over his coffee, shouting, "You're making us look like crooks." "No," I said. "I'm showing who you are. You used me, mocked me, and played victims when I stopped." Dad finally spoke, his voice calm but firm. "Ryan, sit. Emily, stop crying. William, show it all." For an hour, I laid out the payments, posts, and lies. Mom cried. Dad aged a decade. Josh slow-clapped. Emily and Ryan tried to leave, but Dad made them stay. When I closed my laptop, Mom said, "I'm so disappointed in you both." Game over. 3 months later, the fallout's juicy. Emily and Ryan's Instagram is a ghost town. No more brunches or hashtag goals posts. Ryan's BMW got repossessed. He's driving a beat-up 2010 Civic now. Their $4,000 rental? Evicted. They're in a modest apartment now, and Emily's posting about minimalism to save face. Ryan's license is on thin ice, and Emily's down to one gym job. I've redirected my $2,000 monthly to my house fund, upgraded my PC, and switched back to good coffee. Mom and Dad are still processing, but they've set boundaries with Emily. Josh keeps sending me memes, calling it the takedown of the century. Me? I'm just the nerd who finally stopped being the family ATM. If you enjoyed this story and felt the emotions behind it, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel for more real-life experiences and heartfelt stories.